So if you're ever looking for figurines to suit your builds, then this Hasegawa range is really spectacular. Hello, this is BJ from Hearns Hobbies, and today I'm going to be looking at on the 24 scale, Paddock girls from Hasegawa. So these are the figurines that Hasegawa have made. It's part of one of their newer series of figurines. They did quite a lot in the 80s and 90s, and these would be perhaps in a series released in the last couple of years of very high quality figures to suit cars. So they're generally 124 scale, and they do another series which is 12 scale, which is mainly resin, but that's a different series altogether. So let's have a closer look at these, and I'll show you why these are quite nice for plastic injection molded figures. So there you go. So these are the Paddock girls. Let's look from the top there. So you can see the box art there. So 24 scale, Paddock girls, or otherwise known as good girls, or in Japan they're known as race queens. So I guess Paddock girls or good girls are very difficult to see around the traps these days, except in Japan where they're still very popular. And they've got a very typical look about them with the outfit, and then also the umbrella. And the umbrella is quite often to shield the drivers as they're out on a really sunny circuit so they don't overheat. Well, that's the idea anyway. Okay, so let's open it up and see what's inside. All right, so it comes with a couple of sprue. Now they're all in this bag here, so I will bring them out. You've got some decals and some instructions. So let's look at the parts to start with. All right, there we go. These are two sprue. So you notice that they're already molded in a flesh type tone. It makes it easier because with the flesh colored plastic, you can use that as a base and then just use all your toning on the outside, because skin is semi-transparent anyway, so it doesn't matter if it's not fully painted all the way. And that's quite a common trend now, to just have either a white base, raw plastic, or resin, and then starting your flesh tones on top of that. You'll notice that this particular one has got quite a large gate there, and it's interesting how they've done that, because that extends all the way around here, and I think that's probably got to do with protecting within the box as well for shipping, and it does keep it all very, very stiff. So it could also have to do with shrinkage in the plastic as it cools too, because when you've got a large gate like that, there's less chances of it deforming. Now the great thing about these particular figures is they've actually used 3D scan technology to make the figures look more realistic, and that's mainly in the faces where you see all those benefits. Okay, so let's just look at that. We've got our main sprue, and then there's our secondary sprue with some arms, and I'll zoom in a bit so that we'll be able to see the detail. Let's just get that focused properly. Get that right. Gone the wrong way. Too far. All right, that's probably about right, I think. All right, so let's have a closer look at, where's the face? I've lost it now. There we go. Actually, I'm probably out of focus there. How's that? That's much sharper. Now you can see there, just from the shadows of the lighting, just how sharp that detail is, and how the actual facial features are really natural looking. And you'll notice the way that they've part separated as well. In the past, that would have been a whole head separate, whereas this is just basically the faceplate. And you'll see on this side how, so that's upside down though, but you'll see how the head's been molded, but the faceplate is separate. Same with this one here. Okay, so you've got some more natural flowing of the hair. And then here's the other face, which is just over here. Okay, so again, you can see just from the shadows how good these figures look, because quite often I would have found that female figures did not have very good features and actually looked, I guess, melted in a sense. But here you can definitely see eyes, the cheeks are quite pronounced. They're very good. Okay, so quickly we'll look at the rest of the parts. There's the pole for the umbrella. There's the head we looked at earlier. You've got the umbrella right there. You can see the mounting hole in the center there for that rod. It's all molded in one piece, which makes it easy. You've got the internal frame detail there as well on the underside. Over here you've got the tall boots. There's quite natural folds in the ankle. The other leg just there. Got a ponytail, that's quite nice, modded separately. Okay, and then you got another boot there. That's the body section. You can see there, got both sides. The nice creases, and usually along the inside here, you'll see a really pronounced mold line. So these mold lines are not so pronounced. You still need to clean it up a little bit though, to make it look natural, but at least they're not huge, and sometimes it feels like you're re-sculpting when you're trying to clean them off cleanly. But you can see that, you can just see a slight mold line there. Okay, so from there, we've got the other boot right there, and that's all for that sprue. And then over here, you can see we've got the arms. Okay, so you've got the hands there. So this one, it's got the pointing finger. Okay, really fine detail. The finger is quite fine. It's not a little big chunky sort of blob that you may have seen in the past. And here's the other set of arms there. Oh, really nice. Okay, so that's all the plastic parts. Let's just zoom it out again, and we'll see the rest of the bits. We'll move that over there. So you also get some decals. So a sheet of generic decals. Quite nice in that they give you decals for the eyes as well. Actually, I should zoom in on those. Probably be easier for you to see. Okay, you can just see those eyes there. So eyes are the hardest bits to paint. So if you can paint them, you can actually get them looking better than this, but if you're not a very good painter, because it takes a lot of practice with eyes, you can just use the ones here. Okay, so there's a few different expressions. And then you also have some generic sponsorship that you can put onto the umbrella or anything really. So they've actually called it Hasegawa Racing, you know, of course, because it's Hasegawa. But there's plenty of aftermarket racing decals too. So if you want to customize that to suit a particular racing car, then easy enough to change them around. Okay, some little tiny ones there too. Okay, so the decals, and then we come up to the manual where I'll zoom out again. Okay, so we've got our manual here. All right, let's just get that out a bit. There we go. Okay, so you start off with the legend there. So you got the two sprues there. They're numbered here so you know exactly where to find your parts. You have a paint guide, which indicates the Mr. Hobby, which is the lacquer paints, and also the water-based paints there. Also a description in case you like to use different brands so you can easily find them alternatives. Okay, so you've got a few warnings on this side. As we flip it over, we've got the simple construction of the figures. So you've got the main bodywork, the faceplate, got the ponytail, arms and the legs. And then over here you have the girl which is holding onto the umbrella. So again, faceplate, body, legs, and then the simple assembly of the umbrella. Over this side here, there's painting instructions. Then also some decal indication as well. And then what have we got on the inside here? And then got nothing there. Okay, so that's all completed within one single printing. So as you can see, it's all very, very simple, but figurines are fairly simple to build. The art of the figurine is actually the finishing and the painting, which you have there. So if you're ever looking for figurines to suit your builds, particularly for cars, then this Hasegawa range is really spectacular. So this is just one of the items. This is the Paddock girls, which I've chosen to show you, but there's plenty of others as well. There's theme ones for the 1970s and 1960s, and that's particularly handy for cars of that era. So there you go, very nice figures indeed from Hasegawa in 1:24 scale.